Under a pretty eastern Nebraska sky, just 6 weeks remaining in the regular season, and two teams on wildly different trajectories meet in Papillion tonight. From Werner Park, it's Union Omaha and Richmond Kickers. It's USL League One soccer on ESPN+. I'm Donnie Barnes, and as we look at the current standings, you can see the gulf in the table that's opened up. Union Omaha have set a new League One record with 7 consecutive wins, and they're hoping to extend that record tonight. They're suddenly right in the race for the regular season title, and one of those 2 first-round byes. They want to continue that charge. Richmond, meanwhile, winless in 10. They've gone over 2 months since their last victory on July 1st, sliding all the way down to 10th, but they want to spoil Omaha's streak tonight. For the Owls, their task is to go again just 3 days after a wild and record-breaking 4-3 win over league-leading North Carolina FC on Wednesday. Pedro Dolabella got the Owls on the board in the 9th minute. Then just before halftime, Dion Akoff, a great drive, setting up Joe Brito for the go-ahead goal. In the second half, Steven Dos Santos made it 3-1 in the 65th minute, profiting from a bad giveaway by NCFC. Noe Meza capped off a gorgeous move with Omaha's 4th. They had to hang on late for that 4-3 win. 2 late goals from North Carolina, but the Owls did enough to get within a point of first place. For Richmond, the battle tonight is set pieces. They've been very good at scoring from them. They scored from 3 corners in their last game against Fuego, but they've conceded way too many from set pieces as well. So corner kicks and free kicks at either end of the pitch will be key tonight if Richmond are going to spring the upset on the road. Darren Sawatsky said they worked on a bunch of different things in set pieces over this last week. They have had a week and a half to prepare for this game while Omaha played 3 days ago. So we'll see if that can be an equalizing factor for the Kickers here tonight. Last time these two teams met at Werner Park, Union Omaha scored 3 goals after going down to 10 men. Is there more chaos in store this evening? Will the Owls keep flying, or will Richmond kick their slump and spring an upset? Find out with your starting 11s and your kickoff next.
The best celebration you're ever going to see. It could go viral, could make national news. It's going to be a great celebration. If Steven can do it, it's a lot of coordination, a lot of moves. So, I got a celebration for you today, Steven. Can you hold my weight? You think you hold 135?
Doyle's floater. Dos Santos' header!
Because no 2 sports-related injuries are alike.
Our sports medicine team is made up of people from all medical backgrounds covering a variety of specialties.
We work together to create a treatment plan customized to your individual injury.
We understand that activity is not limited by age, gender, or skill level, and we offer care tailored to you.
Sports injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend warrior or an elite athlete. We will be here for you when you need us.
We treat a variety of injuries ranging from ankle sprains to ACL tears to shoulder dislocations.
Our goal is to help you recover to your maximum potential.
Whether it's on the field, in the gym, or in your own backyard.
Our treatment and rehabilitation plans will get you back to your peak performance.
Trust our team with your sports medicine needs.
Game on.
What's up, guys? If you're celebrating a birthday, entertaining family, treating your employees, or rewarding a youth soccer team, bring them to Werner Park.
We've got deals for groups of 15 or more starting as low as $13 a ticket.
Your group will be seated together to enjoy the match and catch your video board shout out at halftime.
Want to see the action up close?
For an even more unique experience, our field level corner kick suite is 20% off now through October.
See you soon, Omaha.
See you soon, Omaha.
See you soon, Omaha.
The two teams proceeding onto the pitch tonight as it's Omaha and Richmond Kickers, with the Owls looking to make it 8 wins in a row and Richmond hoping for their first win in over 2 months. This is the final meeting between these two sides this year. They have met twice previously in 2023. First, back in early May, a 0-0 draw between Union Omaha and Richmond. Both sides had chances. It was a pretty open game. Noe Meza blazing that one over. Richmond a late opportunity from a corner that was tipped over acrobatically by Rashid Nuhu. And then in July, a crazy one. Omaha took the lead in the 24th on a J.P. Skierce header. Emiliano Terzaghi converting from the penalty spot, 1-1 at the half. Union Omaha, though, down to 10 men right before the break. They scored 3 unanswered goals, playing a man light. A goal from Noe Meza and then 2 from Steven Dos Santos, who will hope to haunt Richmond again here tonight. Now the starting 11s for this one, presented by Rotella's Italian Bakery. First for the home side, Union Omaha. They make just one change from their win on Wednesday. Luis Heel comes back into the midfield in place of Dion Kickoff. He is tied for the team lead with 6 assists. He's among the league leaders now on the assists category. Lagos Kunga also is on the bench and might make his first appearance for Omaha. He was signed last year, played in League Two with Des Moines down the road earlier this summer. For Richmond kickers, as they try to spark themselves back to life, 2 changes from their last game 10 days ago against Fuego. Dakota Barnathan is back in on the back line. Justin Suko comes back into the midfield for Richmond. And they also moved Chandler O'Dwyer from the back line, where he was against Fuego, back to the front line. He is generally a midfielder, sometimes a forward. Pressed into service on the defense last time. Not his native position. He'll look to play a much more attacking role here tonight. Richmond will be in their white kits this evening. Union Omaha in their black and lightning. As they will move from left to right in this first half, it is Richmond to get us underway. Matthew Bentley standing over the ball. Our referee is Velimir Stefanovic, with our match time temperature at 84 degrees. So here we go. Can the Owls extend their league record winning streak to 8, or can Richmond stun them with their first win since July? Early touch for Connor Doyle, as that one skims out for an Omaha throw. Told the air conditions are better today. The match had to be stopped every 15 minutes on Wednesday due to air quality issues, so players given a break every 15 minutes, which it was remarkable how good and how high-tempoed the game was in spite of those frequent stoppages on Wednesday night, but hopefully a more free-flowing match tonight. Not scheduled for any hydration break since the temperature is very manageable. It's been a scorching hot summer in Omaha, but it has finally cooled off over the last week or so. First touch for Alexis Suahi. Connor Doyle, who's completed over 1,000 passes already this year. Such a critical presence for Omaha, lying at the base of that midfield. Some early tennis in the middle of the park here. First touch for Marco Milanese, and that just squibbed across the touchline for a Union Omaha throw. Milanese assisting on that opening goal on Wednesday night with a gorgeous curled cross from a set piece, sending Union Omaha on their way against NCFC, who, by the way, are leading Greenville 2-0 at the half on the road tonight. NCFC so far bouncing back really strongly from that loss Wednesday night as they try to assure themselves of remaining top of the table. Here's Shaft Brewer, his first sprint down that right side for Omaha. Brewer now facing up by that corner flag, looking to whip in across, took a deflection, and then nodded clear. First touch by Dakota Barnathan in his return to the starting 11. And a throw for the home side. Shaft Brewer, who will motor up and down those flanks, played on the left wing on Wednesday. JP Skiers, Joe Gallardo that is, getting forward there. And handball, free kick for Richmond. Had a chance to chat with Union Omaha owner Gary Green earlier today. He has loved how exciting this team is this year. He's loved all the high-scoring games, the entertaining soccer his team has played. There is Dom Casciato, the first-year head coach, selected after a nationwide search during the offseason. And Gary Green said he anticipated a slower start this year as the team adapted to a completely new system. So they were fully behind Dom Casciato, even despite the 2 wins in the first 12 games this year. Their goal at the start of the season was just to make the playoffs, anticipating a slower first half of the season. Gary Green saying now that they've had these 7 straight wins and they're just a point off the top spot coming into tonight, suddenly the goals have shifted and are higher now. They want to at least finish in the top 2, make sure they have a home playoff game, ideally a first round bye, and of course they would love to finish first if possible. Everybody at Union Omaha very pleased with how this season has progressed and how this team has grown as the year has gone on. First touch for Ian McGrain, who gets the start again in goal tonight for Omaha, his 5th start of the year. That's turned over meanwhile, and Joe Brito, chance to attack for the Owls. It's Dos Santos. It's Gallardo who's onside. Joe Gallardo takes a deflection out for the first corner of the night. Those are the kinds of giveaways that have haunted Richmond lately. A side that loves to possess the ball, but too many loose passes in the middle of the park, Darren Sawatsky said this week, and he said that's the kind of thing we have to avoid. So the first Modelo corner of the night coming up. And again, we mentioned in our open, corners and set pieces at either end of the park will be so pivotal tonight. Richmond have struggled to defend them. Richmond have been lethal from them when they've attacked. And so they have to defend the first one tonight. Doyle's low delivery back post. And it's flicked only as far as Skiers. Skiers lifts it back into the mix. Dolabella nods it down. Heel takes possession. And unable to connect with Dolabella, out for a goal kick. So far so good for Richmond in their first test this evening. Darren Sawatsky admitted that his team doesn't necessarily match up very well on aerial balls into the box, especially if they have any injuries. As Akira Fitzgerald, their veteran keeper, puts it back into play. There is Darren Sawatsky in his trademark black outfit on the touchline. He admitted this has been his toughest season as a coach so far. He said it's been absolutely miserable. I'm a winner. We won the regular season last year. We've had 10 ties this year. That means we're right there. We're super close. And he said we've kept the spirits high. The culture in our club is really good. Guys come to work every day and fight hard, but nobody's happy right now, that's for sure. Those were his words on Thursday. But they are committed to finish the season strongly, and he said, well, if we win our last 6 games, take 18 points, who knows? He knows it's an uphill battle for them to make the playoffs at this point, but they're not going to count themselves out until they're officially out. You see this foul again. It will be a free kick for Omaha. Neil Vignoles whistled for that one. Forward by Suahi. Dos Santos, whose hold-up play on Wednesday was really good, but held it up off his own hand that time. A little bit of space for Richmond to come forward now. Vignoles, though, forced to check up, and Dos Santos almost able to take it off the toes of Dakota Barnathan. Want to say hello to the folks watching at the Kickers Watch Party in Richmond at 3 Notched Beer. Hope you're all having a good time. That's served into the box. Squibbed partially clear, not the best clearance, and then ballooned way over. Ambitious effort from Justin Suko. And a goal kick for Omaha. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. The team's trying to find a rhythm early in this one. Interesting to see what kind of energy levels the Owls have after that exertion-filled 4-3 crazy win over North Carolina on Wednesday in those tough atmospheric conditions with the smoke drifting down from the wildfires in Canada. And just the one change to the lineup today, as mentioned. The Owls do have a really strong bench with Noe Meza, Dion Akoff, new signing Lagos Kunga, as mentioned, all available. Giovanni Willis is always capable of scoring one from 30 yards. Also amongst those substitutes. It's chested down and pinged into the box. Chance here, taken down off the chest. And off the defender last. That came off Brewer. It will be a corner. Richmond working it well there. That was Chandler O'Dwyer, who we mentioned has moved from the back line where he was filling in last match back to the forward role. Able to earn his side their first attacking set piece of the night. Good cross from Justin Suko, and maybe a slightly better takedown would have allowed O'Dwyer to have a better shooting opportunity there, but they still did well. Again, they scored from 3 corners against Fuego. Elaborate routine here. They serve it long to the back post. McGrain off his line, takes a clattering, and draws the foul. Dakota Barnathan all the way up from that center back position. And guilty of making contact with the Omaha keeper. Interesting corner kick routine. With 10 days to work on those set pieces. Let's see if there are others that Richmond show later tonight. Flicked on by Dos Santos. Gallardo almost was able to take it out of the air. Heel applying pressure. And it's turned over to Dolabella. Score of the opening goal for Omaha on Wednesday. Free kick now for the Owls as Joe Brito got an elbow to the jaw. So a set piece from straight on for Union Omaha in the 10th minute. Simon Fitch whistled for that infraction. You see Dom Casciato in his now trademark white t-shirt on the touchline at the bottom of your picture. He now famously said, after the last-minute win against Knoxville a couple months ago, that if it's us against the world, I'm taking us every time. And that has become a rallying cry for Union Omaha fans and for owner Gary Green, who had a bunch of t-shirts printed up with Dom's face and that slogan on it. Doyle to take this. Aiming for that backside. Skierce with the head to it. Dolabella after it. Beaten to it. Now loose at the edge of the box and scattered away by Richmond. Reset to Skierce. The overlap is from Milanese. Puts it in first time. Now at the edge of the area, and whistle goes for a high boot. And the pressure relieved for the kickers for now. So still very early in the match, but Richmond holding up to those aerial balls and set piece situations so far. Akira Fitzgerald, who signed a new deal with the Kickers last week, continue as the goalkeeping coach and a goalkeeper. Don't see too many player coaches anymore. As Brewer trying to defend that out of play. It was kept in play by O'Dwyer, and then Bentley commits the foul, and he disagrees. Good effort from Chandler O'Dwyer, who's off to a decent start in this match. Darren Sawatsky was complimentary of Matthew Bentley and the work he's done lately when I talked to him on Thursday. Even though Bentley still has just one goal this year, Sawatsky said he's proud of him. He's been doing well. But it's no secret that they have been searching for more goal-scoring depth behind Emiliano Terzaghi, who is still out this week injured. They work it down this right side, and Skierce over to defend. Now the whistle goes. And this will be a free kick for Richmond as Suko stays down after that collision. Zaka Moran, wearing the captain's armband, asking for more from the referee. Let's see what happened here. Yeah, Milanese with the studs over Suko's foot, it looked like. Perhaps a little bit fortunate to escape a booking. Well, again, from talking about them defending set pieces to now their danger in the attacking phase. This is an attacking set piece for Richmond. So it's Omaha's turn to man the barricades. Neil Vignoles plays it short. Bentley touches it around the corner. Another well-worked routine, but defended well. And that was Connor Doyle, who stuck to his man by the end line. Blocked it out for a throw. And they tried to spring Nathan Awney around the corner. Now, Awney's long throws are another big weapon from these restarts for Richmond. They've scored multiple goals from these long throws. Here's his first tonight. And McGrain able to pluck it out of the air. And we say it almost every match here at Werner Park, but this is where this narrower pitch, it's narrower and shorter than most others. That long throw gets on the keeper a lot faster. So if anything, Nathan Awney might have to take something off of those long throws here tonight. away by Heel. Darren Sawatsky hollering for a free kick, nothing given. Richmond able to hem Omaha in a bit. He was forced to punt it long. Dos Santos flicks it along, nobody else up in black. This is a good start by Richmond. Darren Sawatsky was clear this week that they were taking this game pretty personally. He said, we are still the defending Players' Shield holders. They, of course, won the regular season last year. He said, we have pride in that. We're not going to win it this year, but we are still the holders, and until Omaha or somebody else takes it, it's still ours. It will be a final for us. Switch out to the right is overhit and offside anyhow. Only a quarter of an hour gone, though, and Richmond very much holding their own so far. The Kickers have led the league in possession this year. Sawatsky said, we're not going to change that. We're still going to build. We're still going to play through teams. Just because we're not in the place we want to be doesn't mean we change our philosophy. Omaha throw by the center stripe here. Richmond's last victory came on July 1st when they beat Chattanooga 2-0. They've been close in most of these last 10 games where they failed to win since. In fact, they've taken the lead at some point in 6 of those 10 games, which is rather remarkable. But they have tended to struggle late in games. The depth has been an issue at points, Sawatsky acknowledged. And he also felt that the pressure that it has put on their starting 11 this year has begun to wear on that starting 11 recently. So they've begun to make some mistakes that they weren't making earlier in the year. Of course, Emiliano Terzaghi out with that knock for a 3rd straight game tonight, so they're missing their leading scorer. They have a throw here, 16 minutes in. That's a neat touch by Bentley. You can see those silky little subtle things that he does well. Why Darren Sawatsky has liked his contribution. Elsewhere around the league, it's still 2-0 North Carolina FC at Greenville. They're in the 58th minute now. That would be a big, big win for NCFC. Having lost 2 of their last 3 coming in, but still retaining a 1-point lead at the top of the table over both Union Omaha and Northern Colorado, who play tomorrow night. Forward Madison and 1 Knoxville in a huge playoff bubble matchup in Wisconsin. That's goalless in the 16th minute. Forward Madison came into play 2 points up on 1 Knox for the final playoff spot. That's neatly touched on the left side now. And out of the top of the box, Doyle got a boot to it. Bentley facing up Doyle. It's Matthew Bentley, back post, and it goes through everyone and out for a goal kick. Another moment of danger for Richmond. Nice idea from Bentley, trying to find the late run of Chandler O'Dwyer, who is inches away from being on the end of it, and it would have only needed a touch. Bentley just working himself a little quarter yard of space. Just a bit too much height on the cross. Dos Santos, more good hold-up play from him. He springs Gallardo now. Gallardo has heel in the middle, trying to chop it around the corner, Gallardo, and it's out for a corner. Good covering from Zaka Moran, who says it should be a throw. He thought he put it out on the other side of the corner flag, but it will be a second Modelo corner of the evening for Omaha. Union Omaha lining up this set piece. Those black shirts all along the penalty spot. We've seen many times this year, they love to have Doyle hit that low flat line drive toward the back post and ideally have J.P. Skierce redirect from there. Again to the back post. Fitzgerald out. Gets a fingertip to it. Skierce chops it back along. Had the sting taken out of it by a deflection. Retrieved by Heel. In the direction of Doyle. And easy for Fitzgerald. Again, this is well worked by Richmond as they move their way forward. And this is how they like to play, possessing, playing through lines, building up from back to front. The Union Omaha chant starting up at Werner Park. Out to the left now. And into the middle, opportunity, McGrain through traffic, able to get something to it. It's still loose, now the flag goes up. It's in the net, but it won't count. It is offside. And it stays 0-0, but more warning signs for Omaha. Richmond again causing issues in the box. A.J. Franklin and Jason Guillen are the assistant referees tonight. Kyle Armstrong, the fourth official. And Velimir Stefanovic, our center referee. Dos Santos unable to hold that up that time. Pulled back to Fitzgerald. 20 minutes gone. And Richmond arguably with the better of the play so far. Like a late boot left in there and a whistle behind the play. This will be a free kick for Richmond in the first card of the night, shown to Steven Dos Santos, who's trying to press, but apparently left the foot in too long. So Dos Santos will lose the argument and goes into the book in the 21st minute. Velimir Stefanovic explaining the decision to him. Dakota Barnathan, the man who stayed down for Richmond after taking that contact. The Owls would like to thank Autism Action Partnership for their support of Union Omaha and the great work that they do. All goals tonight, if and when they arrive, of course, will be Nebraska lottery goals. Right now the concern is for Dakota Barnathan. We'll see if we can see what happened here. Again, this was after the ball was gone. So Barnathan receives it there. Dos Santos trying to close him down. And yeah, you could see Barnathan just clipping Dos Santos' knee with the front swing of his kick. Dos Santos, the Union Omaha coaching staff being motioned back here. Dos Santos still debating with Joel Gomero. Well, what am I supposed to do? And we're told Dom Casciato has been shown a yellow card as well, so Union Omaha's head coach also into the book along with his forward. And he continues the conversation with Kyle Armstrong. So ready to play again after a couple-minute break. It's been a first half that has suited Richmond so far, able to take the sting out of this Omaha attack over the first quarter of the match. Came off Doyle's head, so an attacking throw, which you would assume will allow Nathan Awney to come over and heave one into the box. Nathan Awney listed at 6'4", and he looks taller than that, doesn't he? Trebuchet into the danger zone, but only Dos Santos there to thumpingly head it away. Bentley trying to bring that under control, and he wanted to volley it, which would have been spectacular indeed. Flick down the left. Flag stays down. Play continues. Toward the top of the 6-yard box, punched convincingly by Ian McGrain, and Dos Santos tussles for it there. Dos Santos has to be careful with that elbow on a yellow card now. He's trying to hold his ground, of course, but still, the veteran will have to keep in mind as he walks that tightrope on a caution. Long down the right side, Bentley somehow able to get a toe to it. McGrain scoops it off the turf, but Matthew Bentley continues to have an active first 25 minutes tonight. So Ian McGrain, at least for now, supplanting Rashid Nuhu between the sticks for Omaha. Nuhu, we were told, was fit both for Wednesday and tonight's game, but McGrain has been selected instead. There is Ian McGrain, 5 starts now on the year. Rashid Nuhu, of course, the 2-time defending Golden Glove Award winner in League One. He was the goalkeeper of the year last season. And an Omaha original with the club for all 4 of their years. That's knotted clear by Skierce, chested down. Richmond coming again. Vignoles scooping it backside. Good connection there. Into the middle it goes. Up goes the flag. It wouldn't have counted anyway. But more good build-up and attacking play for Richmond. They are knocking on the door, and Omaha hanging on a bit. As we remind you to not miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club's on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action. As first we see this replay. This is a good scoop around the corner by Nil Vignoles. Justin Suko arriving at that back stick, perhaps a bit early with his run. But ESPN Plus, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. You can sign up today at plus.espn.com. Kira Fitzgerald, not a ton to do in that Richmond net so far. Sprayed down the left side, connecting very well. Wriggling into the box. Michael Hornsby trying to pull it back across the face of goal. Again, the flag was up. Again, Richmond able to move the ball effectively. And the question for the kickers is end product. Something that, especially from open play, has been lacking this year. Especially when you take out Emiliano Terzagi's 10 goals. Their next leading goal scorer this year has been Joao Gumiro, who has just 4. A scattering of others with 3 and 2 and 1. Not really been able to find that second goal scoring option. Brito trying to steam through the midfield. It falls to Heel. Now Brito. Out comes Fitzgerald, and he gets there. Little 2-man attacking game for Omaha. Heel with a bit too much on it this time. Luis Heel came off the bench in the second half on Wednesday and immediately set up Noe Meza with a beautiful assist. Still has not scored himself this season, but has done everything else. Omaha not able to get to grips with the ball in the midfield in this first half an hour. Can Richmond make this pay off now? Into the box they go. Right-footed effort straight at McGrain. Nil Vignoles struck it decently well. Not able to pick a corner. Again, they worked it well, and it was Vignoles just able to step right past Connor Doyle and then cut inside him. He had Suwahi in front. McGrain ultimately was behind it. Omaha looking to play their way out now, a bit dangerously, but they make it work. Milanese, Gallardo, Brito. He has Dolabella in front of him. It's Dolabella running off his foot, and Fitzgerald scoops it up. That's the best move for Omaha so far tonight, as it was their turn to build from back to front, and Dolabella, who's now on 4 goals this year after his headed tally on Wednesday. He's one of those players for the Owls who has gotten better and better as the season has gone on. Skierce, who has returned to the back line tonight, where he's played a bit this year. It's not his native position, but can play there when needed. Dwyer back to Hornsby. As the kickers recycle with Moran, who will usually sit deep at the base of that midfield. Dwyer, Vignoles. Again facing up with Doyle. Stabbed clear by Dolabella, and free kick for Omaha. So we're nearly 30 minutes in. Still 2-0 North Carolina FC over Greenville. They have 20 minutes to go in South Carolina. Charlotte and Chattanooga goalless in the 67th at last report. Madison and Knoxville 0-0. Also heading for the 30th minute there. Dos Santos. Here is Brewer, and Brewer motors to the end line. Brewer's cut back, and it falls at the back post, and it's volleyed over by Brito. Best chance of the match so far. And he can't believe he didn't score his 4th in his last 6 games. Omaha starting to create more going forward. It was Brewer creating the danger there, and it should have been the opening goal. Takes a deflection off of Gallardo, and it just wouldn't sit down enough for Brito. Unable to get over the top of it on that half volley. Probably had time to take it down with a touch before hitting it. You don't normally have that kind of time in that position, but it did appear that he had a bit more space than maybe he realized. Here's Fitzgerald. The good ball on the right. That was well worked by Richmond, but then they lose it. So a battle of 2 teams who have not kept many clean sheets this year. Expected goals in this game, and we still have an hour in which to see them. It has been a more subdued opening half hour than we might have expected. Signs of that opening goal arriving for one team or another over the last several. Fitzgerald, heavy touch, but he knew what he was doing. Gallardo, for just a split second, looked like he might close him down. That's well worked, and Brito and Heel now with space to pick a pass forward and unable to pick the right one. Trying to clip it into Brito's path, but not with the proper weight this time. Bentley after this, Suwahi there first, and Suwahi wins the free kick. Charlotte have opened the scoring against Chattanooga. So the Independents, who still have an outside chance at that top 2, they were 6 points behind both Omaha and Northern Colorado for second place at the start of the night. And they've played a game more, but they do have a lead against Chattanooga now with 20 minutes to go in that one. Remember, the top 2 finishers in League One, finishing in the top 2 is a big deal because you get a first-round bye and home advantage in that semifinal round. So you're a home win away from a final if you finish in the top 2. Gallardo now for Omaha as they go back in search of that opener. Gallardo trying to curl it. I believe that was a cross. And again, the final ball not quite there for either side thus far tonight. Connie Barnes with you from Werner Park. Hope you're enjoying this one. Stretch run in USL League One. Just 6 league matches left for Omaha after tonight, 5 for Richmond. Here goes Zaka Moran, able to shrug off Dolabella. Moran looking to create. He has the overlapping run on the right. It's Justin Suko. Suko trying to wriggle into the middle, unable to fashion a shot attempt, and now Burrito is racing the other way for Omaha. Burrito has heel to his right. Burrito cutting inside. It's Gallardo arriving. It's Gallardo jinking and had it taken off his toe. Gallardo again able to keep it alive. Stabbed forward by Doyle, again too heavy, and there's Fitzgerald. Whistle against Doyle, free kick. It'd be interesting to see the possession stats from this first half. This is kept in play along that touchline. Well done. Richmond can build again. Left by Vignoles. Played by Moran. Kept moving by Fitch. Protected by Suko. And recycled to Fitzgerald. Union Omaha, though, have been able to find ways to win even when being outpossessed, even though they do consider themselves a possession-based team, Dom Casciato has said. They've not had the majority of the possession in most of these 7 consecutive victories. They've averaged about 47%. Here's a crack from distance, well over from Joao Gomiro. Omaha again were outpossessed by North Carolina FC on Wednesday, 60 to 40% in fact, as you see Gomiro there. But again, Omaha were able to be efficient and lethal when they did have the ball. To have 40% possession and score 4 goals is pretty impressive. And it's the kind of thing the Owls have been able to do repeatedly over the last couple months, as they have won not just 7 in a row, but 11 of their last 13 overall. After beginning the year with just 2 wins in their first 12. It's been a remarkable turnaround. It's seen them go from 10th in the table up to 3rd, tied on points with 2nd place Northern Colorado, behind on goal differential. Dos Santos able to charge that down, but it's out for a throw. Hear that drum line in the Parliament end tonight. Good atmosphere at Werner Park. Richmond have been able to quiet that crowd pretty effectively so far. The only thing that's been missing from their first half performance has been a goal. Still have time to find it before half. Settled by Milanese. Bit of a dangerous one to McGrain, who had to step around the attentions of Matthew Bentley and did so very calmly. Now Heel. Skierce. Milanese. Again McGrain. Richmond able to hem the Owls in, but Omaha very patiently able to work possession. Now moving their way through the midfield. Gallardo hassled by Vignoles. Zawadzki wanted a free kick, none given, and now it's Brewer away down the right. He's onside. Shaft Brewer, the cutback, all the way to the penalty spot, and nobody there in black. Brewer's only gotten loose a few times in this first half. It's always dangerous when he does. And it's Vignoles for Richmond now, drifting out to the left. He's against Dolabella. Dwyer returns it to Vignoles. Vignoles chops back to his left. got away from Dolabella. Did that come off him last? It crossed the end line. And it is a goal kick. Well, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157. That's North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Luis Heel able to keep that under his foot. And now it's Heel continuing on. Crowd hollering for a foul. Now it's pulled back for one. And we'll see if there's further action on this. I think Velimir Stefanovic had a talk with his assistant referee to make sure he had the number right. And it is Zaka Moran who is carded. So the Richmond captain into the book in the 40th minute. That is the first Hale Varsity Club yellow card of the evening, shown to the visitors. So Heel was able to spin away from the first, and then Moran submarining Brito. So it's the second time in this first half that the Owls have had this free kick from straight away, which is always an interesting angle. It's maybe not the angle you would choose if you were the attacking team. Too far out to have a crack at goal, generally. So Doyle pings it to the right. Skeers nods it along, and well defended in the end. Put into a really dangerous spot, which the Owls are so good at doing whenever Doyle and Skeers can combine. But Richmond, although unable to win the second ball, able to get to the next one. Here's Brewer. His cross, volleyed down, but wide. Dolabella met it on the half volley, but not able to steer it on target. North Carolina continuing to lead Greenville 2-0. They're into the final 10 minutes there, as NCFC still hanging on for what would be a significant road victory for them. Still 1-0 Charlotte leading Chattanooga in the 79th. Still goalless between Madison and Knoxville in the 41st. And Suwahi with that play whistled down as we close in on halftime here. So one player carded for either side. Dos Santos for Omaha, Moran for Richmond. Santos wins the header down there. Heel was after it. With an errant ball out of the back. Allowing Omaha to rebuild possession. Brito showing good feet to keep that alive. Suwahi. And unable to put the proper bend on it as he tried to find Brewer. Vinyals, always at the center of the attack for Richmond. That's an intelligent little cut pass to the middle, but J.P. Skeers able to cut it out. Gallardo, forced backward. Hounded pretty well, but able to find Suwahi. Dos Santos again holds it up neatly for Brewer. And Brewer with space to motor forward. Shaft Brewer on his bike. It's Brewer crossing for Dos Santos just in front of him. Steven Dos Santos, again, 2 goals against Richmond in their last meeting on July 8th. That was what really sparked his season to life. As Shaft Brewer inches away from a connection that time. Dos Santos has scored 7 for Union Omaha in league play this year. He added another in the Open Cup against El Paso. Most of those have come in the last month and a half. Here's a crack from distance, straight at Akira Fitzgerald. First shot on target for Omaha in this first half. Referee blowing that down for a handball. Disagreement from Joel Gomiro, who said that hit my chin, not my hand. Free kick Omaha in the final minute of the 45. Not had hydration or air quality breaks in this first half. We did have that couple-minute injury when Dakota Barnathan stayed down for a while. We will have 3 additional minutes, we're told. Is there a goal to be had in this first half? Richmond on the attack. It's Suko running in to Marco Milanese. And now the counter for Omaha. Brito. His heel to his right, the little step over, and Brito keeps going. It's Brito down that left flank. Onto his right foot, scooped into the middle, chested down. Gallardo, and Dos Santos blocked. Dos Santos still onto it. Dos Santos chops it back to the top of the area, and nobody there in black and lightning. And the attack breaks down for Omaha. Big block on that back line as Dos Santos looked like he would score again. Stoppage time presented by Muchachos. Richmond fine with calming things down after surviving that last sequence, but now they work forward into the box and it bounces all the way through to McGrain. Charlotte have added a second against Chattanooga, so the Independents look like they'll be taking all 3 points at home against the Red Wolves tonight. Gallardo had his shirt pulled. Now Dolabella able to accelerate and heel. The overlap is from Brito. Brito will hustle on to the end of this. Brito with Dos Santos and Dolabella in the middle, trying to pick out Dolabella, again headed clear. Richmond have defended very well in this first half. So Chandler O'Dwyer dropping deep to pick up the ball. Playing on the forward line tonight, but he can play all over. Back and forth we go. So a strong first half performance by Richmond again tonight. And the challenge for them in recent weeks has been sustaining that over a full 90 minutes. Still time for them to snatch something before half. O'Dwyer's cross, a really good one intended for Bentley. Knocked down and worked clear by Suahi. Awkward one for Omaha to deal with. Now can they counter? Dos Santos, heavy first touch. Still clattering after it, Dos Santos, then dragged back by his shirt. That will be a card. And a Hale varsity yellow card to Joel Gomiro, who is not going to let Dos Santos motor away. Maybe not the worst card to take with 20 seconds left in the half. Can't allow yourself to concede a goal right before halftime. Here was the chance a moment ago. It came off Gallardo first and bounced to Dos Santos. You thought the net was going to bulge there. Outstanding block. It was Simon Fitch. No, excuse me, Nathan Awney, who was able to throw his body in front of it. So Nathan Awney probably saving a goal with that intervention. One more free kick for Richmond to defend in this first half. Again by Doyle. Out it goes. Back to Doyle. Still time for one more attack. And skittered clear. All eyes on Velimir Stefanovic. Retrieved by Doyle. And there's the final whistle of the first half. And so the sides cancel each other out over the opening 45 minutes. Richmond Kickers winless in 10, but holding up to Omaha's challenge in the first half. Omaha winners of 7 in a row, but stymied by the resilient visitors through 45 minutes tonight. So at the break, with our Omaha La Vista Courtyard by Marriott halftime show coming up next, Dom Casciato and his side will regroup. We'll come back momentarily with highlights from around the league, first half stats and highlights from this one as well. 45 down, 45 to go at Werner Park tonight. It's Union Omaha 0 and Richmond Kickers 0. More next.
I'm a midfielder for Union Omaha. I mean, it was exciting because at first I really didn't think I was going to get schooling, but my mom was pressuring me, and obviously I pressured myself to get my studies done because it's really important to me and my family. So right now I'm trying to get my generals out of the way and try to figure out what I want to do. I want to get my minor, obviously, and then try to see how I want to do my master's, but that's just been my goal since I was a little kid, and my parents' goal, my parents' dream, and that's the dream that I want to fulfill for them. And obviously playing professional and having school is just an amazing thing. I mean, getting school for free is an amazing feat, and obviously getting it from your team and just Bellevue being so supportive. I mean, every counselor, every helper for the school has been helpful a lot, and I've been learning. My name is Yoskar, and I'm a Bellevue University student.
Omaha is a soccer city, and Union Omaha is your club. After a USL League One championship in 2021 and a history-making quarterfinal run in last year's US Open Cup tournament, we're back for more. Come and join our last 4 home matches at Werner Park for the price of 3, with options as low as $45. One city, one club, one means all.
Nice shot of the Omaha skyline there. We're at halftime tonight, presented by Courtyard by Marriott La Vista Conference Center, 0-0 between Union Omaha and Richmond Kickers. I'm Donnie Barnes, and it's time to take a look at highlights from a couple great games around USL League One that happened in midweek. Mark Schoenster has those.
Start off week 26 on Wednesday, starting at Werner Park. Union Omaha against North Carolina FC. Marco Milanese serves up a tasty ball for Pedro Dolabella to rock home, soloing his goal tally to 4 on the year. But just 2 minutes later, Nelson Flores Blanco picks out Golix Anderson, who will actually be the assister here for Garrett McLaughlin, who demonstrates patience and poise as he chips it over Ian McGrain to level things up. This was in the 9th and the 11th minute to open up the game, so what was promising to be a great matchup delivered early on in this affair. Then, right before halftime, Steven Dos Santos gives a crafty ball to Dion Akoff, who nods it forward, holds for a couple moments, then releases to Joe Brito, who celebrates before it even crosses the goal line. A tap-in finish for him. Union Omaha leading 2-1 going into the halftime break. Then in the second half, one of 2 critical errors for North Carolina is properly and clinically taken advantage of by the red-hot Owls. Dos Santos this time on the goal scoring end of things. The vet now has 7 on the season, while the Owls are looking for a record-breaking 7 straight wins. Then another critical error, the second one for North Carolina. The Owls begin combining, and on the end of this string of passes, back like he never left, Noe Mays to score his 10th on the season in his return game from injury. Now everything is going right for the Owls right now in their pursuit of history, but before this one concludes, we have some other history to make. Don't let Rafa cut inside with space like this. It's a fool's errand. He scores the 453rd goal of the season, which makes it the highest scoring year in league history with still a whole month to go. Then in added time, the top of the table won't go down quietly. Preston Pop taps this one in, but it's going to be too little, too late. 4-3 Union Omaha, and Dom Casciato claim 3 points, a League One record, and temporarily sit in second place. And what I mean by temporary is, well, about an hour. North Colorado looking for payback against Lexington after the thriller that was their last meeting between these two. And look at Marky Hernandez putting that one in on the service from Billy King. And then in the 43rd minute, you know the drill. It's Arthur Rogers territory, but this time he doesn't get the assist. He actually gets his first goal of the season straight from the dead ball spot, making it 2-0 in favor of the Hailstorm. And then Marky Hernandez already has a goal. Now he wants to an assist. And this ball just keeps trickling and trickling along until it finds Noah Powder, who blasts it home. But as this Hailstorm team knows, the boys from the Bluegrass State never fold. Hila Dlamini is able to approach, and he errands the deflection, just gets by the keeper to make it 3-1. Then in the 87th minute, Owen Green finds Khalid Balagoon, who finds a cleat inside the 18, drawing the penalty, and you already know Don Smart is going to step up and put it into the back of the net. 3-2, your final score line, much like North Carolina. The comeback falls short, and the Hailstorm reclaim second place in the league over Omaha on goal differential. Now let's channel my inner Steve Kornacki here. Let's look at the playoff odds for the top 6 teams in USL League One will be the ones who advance on to the playoffs. One Knoxville, really the only aggressors. I think the more interesting conversation will be, where do those top 6 teams seed themselves by the end of the regular season, especially those top 3, Omaha, the Hailstorm, North Carolina FC, all vying for number 1, vying for those top 2 spots to get buys. It's going to be pivotal at the end of the season. Could be the difference between a champion and getting eliminated on the road. We're going to step aside now for a quick break. Now this from the USL.
Goes topics. I mean, yeah, let's talk about
Stop
today. Today we're going to go
Yo,
topics.
roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What? This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it. What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Omaha is a soccer city, and Union Omaha is your club. After a USL League One championship in 2021 and a history-making quarterfinal run in last year's US Open Cup tournament, we're back for more. Come and join our last 4 home matches at Warner Park for the price of 3, with options as low as $45. One city, one club, one means all.
News and notes from around USL League One this week. Welcome to the Forest City. USL granting Portland, Maine rights to a USL League One franchise they'll call Fitzpatrick Stadium home. Will kick off in 2025. Very exciting news from the state of Maine. In transfer updates, meanwhile, Madison and Central Valley agreeing to the transfer of Ozzy Ramos, who's been a key part of that Central Valley midfield the last couple seasons. That's a big pickup for forward Madison as they try to shore up their team down the stretch. And Noah Powder, the League One Player of the Week, he had a hand in all 3 goals for Northern Colorado in their victory over Charlotte Independence last weekend. Congratulations to Noah. Upcoming schedule in USL League One tomorrow. Northern Colorado home to Tormenta. Tormenta really need a win to get back in the playoff race. Northern Colorado trying to keep pace with Union Omaha and NCFC in that top 3 spot. Forward Madison home to Richmond on Thursday. Richmond, again, trying to dig out of that slump. Forward Madison, the same as they try to dig out tonight and looking to cement a playoff spot. Chattanooga home to Union Omaha next Saturday. Central Valley facing Lexington. NCFC against Richmond on Saturday. And One Knox continuing their late push for a playoff spot at home against Greenville. Now scores from around the league tonight thus far. As League One play continues, they're in a weather delay with just 2 minutes to go in Charlotte, but Charlotte sure looked like they're going to come away with a win there, leading Chattanooga by 2-0, but they'll have to wait at least a half an hour to play those final 2 minutes. Weird situation in the Queen City. North Carolina FC, what a good and vital victory for them on the road at Greenville. Their second road match in 3 days after losing at Omaha on Wednesday. They bounce back in style with that 2-0 victory to assure themselves of remaining top of the table at the end of this weekend. And forward Madison and One Knox, 0-0 at the break. Those two right on the playoff bubble. Massive second half to come there. Big second half to come here as well. Highlights and stats and second half kickoff next.
What's up, guys? If you're celebrating a birthday, entertaining family, treating your employees, or rewarding a youth soccer team, bring them to Werner Park.
We've got deals for groups of 15 or more starting as low as $13 a ticket.
Your group will be seated together to enjoy the match and catch your video board shout out at halftime.
Want to see the action up close?
For an even more unique experience, our field level corner kick suite is 20% off now through October.
See you soon, Omaha.
See you soon, Omaha.
See you soon, Omaha.
Omaha is a soccer city, and Union Omaha is your club. After a USL League One Championship in 2021 and a history-making quarterfinal run in last year's US Open Cup tournament, we're back for more. Come and join our last 4 home matches at Werner Park for the price of 3, with options as low as $45. One city, one club, one means all.
Richmond able to cool off the League One record breakers so far for 45 minutes tonight. Fans on the berm still having a good time here at Werner Park. 0-0 between the Owls and Kickers thus far. Our Omaha La Vista Courtyard by Marriott halftime show concluding with a look at our first half highlights, as these two sides effectively canceling each other out. Very strong defensive first half for Richmond, who also had plenty of good moments going forward as well. It was Omaha, though, who attacked down the right side early on with Joe Gallardo unleashing one that was blocked out of play. Several good and vital blocks by that Richmond back line in the opening half. And the Kickers created plenty themselves. Matthew Bentley was in the middle of many of those moves. On this occasion, scooping one back post, just narrowly missing a connection from Justin Suko, who went sliding in. It was actually Chandler O'Dwyer, O'Dwyer, who drifted all over the park in that first half. This was another good opportunity here. Ian McGrain, I believe, had to make a save through some traffic. Ball was eventually put into the back of the net, but it was flagged down for offside. But again, Richmond warning Omaha that they certainly were not going to lie down tonight. And here again, they were able to pin Omaha in their own half. Nil Vinyals with a gorgeous ball around the back and put in front. The flag had been raised, so that wouldn't have counted. Shaft Brewer creating danger on a couple occasions at the other end. This fell to Joe Brito, their best chance of the first half, and Brito feeling he should have done better. That ball just wouldn't sit down for him, but even so, connecting on the half volley, he felt he should have kept it down and put it on target. But Omaha not able to create as much as they would have liked. They had 7 shots, just 1 on frame. Richmond putting 2 officially on target. They outpossessed Omaha 57-43 in the opening 45 minutes, although again, the Owls have found ways to win repeatedly during this 7-match winning run. while being outpossessed. So we'll see if they could do that again, perhaps in the second half. 2 yellow cards shown to Richmond in the first half. Joao Gomiro and Zaka Moran both into the book. Steven Dos Santos was carded for the Owls. So back for the second half. Richmond still in their white kits with those silver numbers. And the Owls eventually will get us back underway as they will kick off half number 2. Attacking from right to left as they're finally back out onto the pitch. Perhaps a more extended team talk at halftime from Dom Casciato and his coaching staff. And we'll see what adjustments or tweaks they make after Richmond and Darren Zawadzki. Their game plan was pretty effective in the opening 45. So here we go, half number 2. Can the Owls find goals to win their 8th in a row? Or could Richmond steal one on the road and halt their 2-month winless run? Fascinating second half here as the Owls would have to win to keep pace with NCFC at the top of the table. 1 point out of first place at the start of the night. North Carolina have won at Greenville, so at the moment they are 4 points clear of Omaha again. Technically, if you were looking at a live table right now, it would be 3 since the Owls are currently drawing, but Omaha would love to stay just a point behind and put further pressure on Northern Colorado, who will be in action tomorrow night. They started the night in second place ahead of Omaha on goal differential, and also a point behind NCFC, currently 4 as things stand at the moment. Early free kick for Richmond in the opening minute of half number 2. I'm Donnie Barnes. Glad to have you along tonight. They are still goalless between Madison and 1 Knoxville as that game back underway in Wisconsin. Another crucial match with playoff implications there, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that one throughout this second half. No changes for either side at the start of this second half. Richmond have a very young bench tonight. They have 16-year-old Nicholas Simmons, 17-year-old Beckett Howell, Chris Cole, and Jake Meekum, who are a little older, but both have not appeared much the last couple months. Here goes Shaq Brewer, able to ride one challenge. It's Brewer at the end line. Brewer pulls it back. Gallardo takes a touch. Gallardo trying to work space, could not, and it's scrambled away. First moment of danger for the Owls in the second half, though. And again, it comes through Brewer, who has been that danger man down the right wing. Dion Akoff is available off the bench in the second half for Omaha, remember. And he has caused lots of havoc on the right flank throughout the year. After he started in midweek, rested so far tonight. So even though they only made 1 change from their lineup on Wednesday, Akoff going out did force Dominic Mazzola to reshuffle things a fair amount, with Skiers dropping from the midfield back to the back line. And Omaha did look a little out of sorts in the attack in the first half. Give Richmond a lot of credit for that as well. Here come the kickers now in their first foray forward in the second half. Space on that left side, lots of space to deliver across, and it's a good ball in, but McGrain able to collect. Not really something you want to do if you're Omaha, though, giving Michael Hornsby as much time as he wanted to pick his head up and pick across. Keep doing that, you'll get punished eventually. Free kick for the Owls now. Alexis Suwahi moving forward from the back line to help build an attack. JP Skiers, Suwahi, and McGrain. Dos Santos with that hold-up play again, using that big frame of his to shield the ball. Now Brewer. An overlapping run from Heel, but didn't have the angle with which to find him, but finds Brito instead. And Brito down the left side, leaving a lot to do for Milanese, and he couldn't quite get there. Intelligent idea by the Owls, but not quite executed. Omaha a little bit better with possession in the midfield early in the second half. Here's Brito, the overlap from Milanese. His cross back post was a really good one, but defended well once more. That took a vital last moment intervention. Otherwise, the Owls would have taken the lead. It's good play by Suwahi, back to McGrain. This has been a high-quality game, even though it's 0-0 and chances have been at a premium. The teams have defended quite well. Lots of good ball movement as well. Just that final ball, final moment has been lacking at either end. Here's Heel, lofting it forward toward Gallardo. Chested down by Dos Santos. He takes a tumble. Referee blows the whistle and awards the free kick. The Owls only had a couple Modelo corner kicks in the first half and a couple other attacking set pieces, but not many. And that was crucial for Richmond. If you're a Richmond fan, you're probably tired of hearing about it at this point. We've talked a lot about set pieces and how important they are for Richmond at either end. Struggling to defend them as well as they would like, but didn't have to defend many in that first half. And that's certainly one way to deal with that issue, of course. Darren Sawatsky, you see him hollering instructions from the edge of his technical area. Struggling to get someone's attention, it looked like. Gallardo and Milanese standing around this one. Milanese runs over it and leaves it to Gallardo. And so Gallardo's ball is very high. So he went for goal directly. Was always headed over. Well, the National Suicide Prevention Week is September 10th through September 16th, and to support the mental health of our communities, the USL has partnered with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And if you need support, call or text 988 now. You are not alone. Suwahi with an active step up and header there to take it away from Bentley. Forward by Doyle. Not able to connect with Brito. Now Richmond can build. Moran. Nice ball forward, splitting the defense, and here's Vignoles. Vignoles in that pocket. It's Vignoles' cross. Didn't beat the first man. Charged down by Brewer. Chef Brewer doing quite well there. He concedes the throw, but prevented the cross. It's a Brewer who can be so dynamic in the attack, but doing his defending bit very effectively there. So here's another one of those opportunities for Nathan Awney to launch one into the box. Awney to the penalty spot, flick down, Skierce after it and boots it clear. Well, they had just about what they wanted there, Richmond. They won the initial ball, the initial flick. Created the chaos, but it just didn't fall kindly for them from there. Awney will try it again. So the trebuchet releases once more. And this time it's Dos Santos to nod it away. Switched back toward the left. Up in the air it goes. Dolabella acrobatically helicoptered it forward. Dos Santos shields it. Dos Santos takes it down very well. Down he goes. Free kick, Owls. Dos Santos pounding the turf. Sometimes bigger players feel like they get fouled and hacked more than they should just because of their size. Didn't appear to be a ton of contact there. Enough for the foul. Probably no more than that. Darren Sawatsky trapping that ball with his phantom right foot, and it was trapped well by his actual man. And it's cut back. Good ball and sprayed wide. Best chance of the night perhaps for Richmond. They worked it really well down the right. The cutback was excellent. The finish was off target, and it stays 0-0. It was Gomiro who went back against the grain. And Suko on the end of it with his left foot. Sliced it wide. Now the Owls work their way out very well. Dolabello sprinting right down the seam. Dolabella to Heel. Heel gets there first. Luis Heel. He has Gallardo and uses him. Joe Gallardo. Dolabella with back to goal. Wrestling to keep possession. Cycles it out to Brewer. Brewer with room. Shaft Brewer. Sprints to the touchline. Brewer's cross blocked out. And a corner. More good last-ditch defending from Richmond. A third Modelo corner kick of the evening for Omaha. The Modelo corner kick is enthusiastically greeted by the fans. Modelo certainly getting their money's worth for their sponsorship, which is good. So Connor Doyle with the careful placement. See him moving that ball as far forward as possible. Referee apparently wanting to sort something out in the box before allowing this corner to be taken. Still goalless between forward Madison and one Knox as you see the Parliament end. Behind the goal that the Owls are attacking in this second half. It is rowdy out there tonight, as it usually is. What can Connor Doyle conjure from this corner? Doyle's flat ball in, rising with a head, and it's in! And it's a breakthrough for the record breakers. 7 wins in a row, and they're back in flight again. Pedro Dolabella has 2 in 2 games, 2 headers from 2 set pieces. And again, it's a dead ball situation that haunts Richmond for all their good play, as well as they'd hung in there tonight. They concede straight from a corner, and the Owls have that long-awaited lead. So a Nebraska lottery goal giving Omaha the lead. And Dolabella now on 5 goals for the year, continuing to have an excellent second half of this season. Richmond go in search of a response. Zaka Moran. Good ball on the left side. Scooped toward the goal line, but plucked out by McGrain. Bentley trying to find his way onto the end of it. Would have been a very awkward angle if he had gotten there first with the head. Crossed by Michael Hornsby. Tumbling down was Moran, unable to keep possession. Owls look to break out, but the pass behind Dolabella. first half of the season, it was Noe Meza carrying much of the goal-scoring load for Omaha. He had 9 goals by early July, but then he missed a month with a hamstring injury, which makes Omaha's winning run of 7 games and counting that much more impressive. The fact that they won 4 of those games without him. Able to find additional goal scoring from players like Steven Dos Santos and increasingly Pedro Dolabella. As Brewer tries to usher that out of play. Did that go across the end line? Apparently not. Play continues. Would have been a corner for Richmond otherwise. And Heel able to do very well to take that down and keep possession for his side. Milanese as we approach the hour mark in Papillion. It's another testing moment for this Richmond side, who've endured such a difficult last 2 months. Now after a strong first half, and really a strong early second half performance, Omaha were starting to build the pressure a bit more, but generally speaking, the Kickers had held up to it very well. Arguably had the better of much of the first half, but not able to find enough cutting edge in the attacking third to make that slight superiority show on the scoreboard, and now find themselves trailing, still with plenty of time to rescue the situation. They need to find more in the attack, and Bentley looks to provide it, and Bentley puts it into the side netting. And this is where Richmond, without their leading scorer and 3-time defending league MVP Emiliano Terzaghi, need to find other goal scorers. Players like Matthew Bentley, who does do so much in so many aspects of the game for them, but has only actually scored once this year, is where they need a bit more in that goal scoring department from players like him. The Owls are getting ready to make 2 changes at the next stoppage. Dos Santos down, another free kick for Omaha. Noe Meza and Lagos Kunga are about to come in for the Owls, and apparently that change will happen right now. So it'll be Noe Meza making his 2nd appearance in his return from injury. He scored right after coming on Wednesday, and it will be the Owls' debut for Lagos Kunga, former under-18 U.S. Youth National. You hear the applause at Werner Park for both of them. Noe Meza will replace Joe Brito. And a good shift for an hour tonight. Had that good chance in the first half, but still 3 goals in his last half a dozen matches. He's on a good run. And Lagos Kunga replaces Joe Gallardo. So first time we see Kunga in a Union Omaha shirt. He spent the summer with Des Moines Menace in USL League Two, scored big goals there, as the Menace made a deep run in the League Two playoffs. And Dom Casciato told me earlier this week that they'd been tracking him for quite a while, had a chance to see him in Des Moines, since that's only a 2.5-hour drive or so from Omaha. I feel he'll add a lot to their attack over the final matches of this season. Forward it goes from the free kick. Dos Santos got his head to it. Dolabella nearly found the next ball. Hustled away in the end. And great juggling by Nil Vignoles to keep it alive, and he keeps possession. That's a highlight reel sequence for Vignoles, and he starts an attack the other way. Sprayed forward in the direction of Bentley. And boy, if Richmond had been able to score at the end of that sequence, it would have been an absolute highlight reel goal. As it is, clip that little juggling sequence from Nil Vignoles. That was spectacular. Terrific individual skill. And even though it doesn't result in a goal, it did relieve pressure for Richmond in a sequence where they were really under it as they try to hang around, hang in, give themselves a chance late in this game. Still down by just a goal, despite the disappointment of conceding from a corner 5 minutes ago. Noe Meza's first touch is to win it back to Dos Santos. Dos Santos going on a marauding run down the left. Ushered out by Fitch, and a throw for Omaha. Here's Meza. 10 goals on the year. Tried to return it to Milanese, and it ran under his foot. Fitzgerald. Hornsby. Moran. Nice ball to the right. Fitch. Suko. Gumiro. Bentley. This is Matthew Bentley, and it's wide, but he was offside. Again, well worked back to front by Richmond. They're very capable of those sequences. Bentley slightly mistiming his run. Dragged his shot just past that far post anyhow. Tough to see, but it did look like Bentley was behind the back shoulder of J.P. Skeers when that ball was released. There is definitely a goal at least in this for Richmond tonight if they can find it. If they can connect on that final ball. Richmond winning a sequence of throws here on the right side. We'll throw for Omaha. Now let's see a replay from a couple minutes ago of that spectacular juggling sequence. It came from that initial ball in that Skeers won the initial header on. You see the block there from Dos Santos, from the header from Dos Santos, and then watch this. Well, we don't see it at the end there. It's one back by Richmond. What can they build from that? Vignals able to find a teammate. Suwahi got a toe to it. Keeps it in play. Trying to clip it off the Richmond attacker. Well, hugging that touchline. Wouldn't roll out for quite a while. It is a Richmond throw. So approaching the final quarter of the 90 minutes. And this will be left, you would think, for Nathan Awney. There's some confusion as to whether it was a free kick or a throw. It is a throw, so it is left to Awney. Awney takes it short this time. Return to Awney, who looks to drive his way in. Scoops it with the left. Skeers thumps it away. Taken deftly out of the air. Clip to the top of the area where Suwahi nods away. Milanese further clear, won by Meza. Owls have a chance to counter now. Lagos Kunga, his first chance to maraud forward. He's very fast and quick on the dribble, they tell us. He finds Heel, and Heel had it clipped off his foot. Dom Casciato raved about Lagos Kunga's ability to run with the ball, run at pace. Said he has a tricky left foot. Richmond dragging themselves forward again. Neat feet from Joao Gumiro. Down the line, Bentley after it. Doyle there first. Flicked acrobatically, but then turned over. And Richmond can press it forward again. Doyle shielding it and ushering it out of play and a goal kick. Good recovery by the Owls after losing it a couple times. As it currently stands, Omaha in line for what would be a record-extending 8th consecutive win. That is certainly not certain, especially with how the Owls have had a propensity to concede late goals, even during this winning string. They have conceded goals in second half stoppage time in 4 of their last 5 games. They've still won all 4 of those games, but that's because they had multi-goal leads going into stoppage time each time. All of those turned into 1-goal wins instead. Hasn't hurt them in terms of the win column or the points total. It has certainly hurt them in terms of goal differential. They're +8. They could be +12 if they cut those out, which would have put them level with Northern Colorado for second place instead of trailing them on goal differential right now. Of course, goal differential only matters if you're also tied in wins. Wins is the primary tiebreaker in League One, unlike some leagues. But if you end the year level on points and wins with somebody, then it does matter quite a bit. And so we'll see if at the end of the season, some of those late goals conceded even in the midst of winning come back to haunt the Owls. They hope not, obviously. Point is, though, Richmond still have every chance to get something from this game. There goes Kunga throwing himself around, trying to make something happen, and he does create a turnover. His play continues here, and Meza settles it for the Owls. Milanese showed too much of it. Falls back to him. Heel keeps possession amidst 3 white shirts, but then wasn't able to pick out Meza. I don't think it's condescending at all to say it's been a very battling performance by Richmond over 70+ minutes tonight. I think it's true. It just hasn't quite been enough so far. Goals change games, and if they find the next one, that changes everything. Chopped back by Brewer. Dangerous ball into the middle, and Dolabella able to hack it away. Only 1 clean sheet for Omaha during this 7-match winning run. They have one thus far tonight. They've lost a couple others very late. As mentioned, they've given themselves margin for error lately. They don't have margin here, just the 1-goal lead. Slender, delicate, tense. And increasingly so as the minutes tick away. If they can hang on, they would stay a point behind North Carolina FC for that top spot. They would assure themselves of finishing the weekend at worst still in 3rd, level with Northern Colorado if they were to win tomorrow night. Of course, if NOCO dropped points, then Omaha would go above them in the table. If the Owls hang on and win this. Richmond still have plenty to say about that. Here they come through the midfield. That's a nice ball out on the right. It connects with Suko, who has Fitch on the overlap and uses Fitch, but put too much on it. That's a waste. It's a good overlapping run from Fitch. Intelligent, well-timed, but the ball just wasn't there. And as a result, the attack peters out. McGrain's had to make a couple good saves tonight. Hasn't had a ton to do, but has done it well. Has commanded his area effectively. When didn't reach Bentley, who's become increasingly isolated as this second half has gone on, and he was offside as well. After tonight, Union Omaha will be at Chattanooga, then home to Central Valley Fuego. They will go to North Carolina FC on September 29th in what will be a massive matchup. And then the final week of the regular season, they play twice. Charlotte at home, then Tormenta away. That's a tough week to end the regular year. Arguably, Omaha have the toughest run-in of the top 3 teams. You never know how it's going to look in reality. And this one's still very much in the balance. Put into the box and flicked down. Dolabella, who's increasingly defending as this second half goes on, even though he's a forward in theory tonight. Meza sliding after that, and then gets his body in the way again and wins the throw. And that's the kind of dirty defensive work. And when I say dirty, I mean with good effort. Not dirty as in bad or malicious, but greasy maybe would be a better word to describe it. Noe Meza good at tracking back into his own half, into his own final third if necessary, and holding up play, putting his body in the way, breaking up attacks from the opposition. And those are the kind of moments that are precious when you're protecting a 1-goal lead as you go into the final 15 minutes. See Dom Casciato consulting with his technical staff on what other changes they might make here for the final 15. As they try to see this one over the finish line. Loud Union Omaha chant echoing from one end of the ground to the other. As the Owls fans try to play their part in helping their team to an 8th straight win. Both sides claiming that throw strongly. It's Omaha who get it. Spirited performance from those folks tonight. Will the Owls be celebrating in front of them in another 15 minutes plus stoppage time? Meza. Wall of white shirts in front of him. Dos Santos after it. I do wonder if Dom Casciato will be considering taking Dos Santos off soon. He is on a yellow card. He has been since the 22nd minute. He is a veteran, so generally you trust him to play with that yellow card, as Casciato has so far, but played a lot of minutes on Wednesday as well. More in a bit, but here goes Fitch for Richmond, and Fitch's cross. Nobody there in white. Comes down for Moran. Gomiro, does well to keep possession. Dancing around a couple challenges and feeding Matthew Bentley, who's onside this time. Bentley able to stand up the cross but couldn't beat the first man as Skierce nods it out. It is a corner for Richmond. Their first of the second half. And again, they have been lethal from attacking corners lately. So this is a real opportunity for them. If they're going to get something tonight, it will likely come from one of these corners or set pieces. All 3 of their goals against Fuego in their last match came directly from corners. 8 of their last 10 goals in total have come from corner kicks. It's Hornsby who will swing this in, but not yet. They conceded the only goal of the match from an Omaha corner. Can they hit back here? Hornsby curls it in. Flick to the back post. Into the mix it goes. Up into the air it goes. It's Milanese who got his boot to it and was able to keep it out. I'm not sure if that would have bobbled into the net otherwise, but it certainly would have been lying invitingly on the doorstep. Back it comes, flicked on, wide and out. And let's see that sequence again. Biggest danger moment Richmond have been able to create in the second half. Dos Santos headed it first. Just chested down by Skierce and cleared from the seat of his pants by Milanese, who has stayed down afterward. And is grabbing at that left leg. Well, it's been a taxing week for Milanese. Playing Wednesday and again tonight. When you're playing a second game in 3 days and you're into the final 15 minutes of it, that's when you start to worry about possible injuries and knocks and tweaks, as Darren Sawatsky has a chance to regather his troops and urge them on for a final assault tonight. Karen Sawatsky told me on Thursday, every single person who plays for our club is a good character person, and humility is our first pillar. And even with us not in the position we want to be in, that culture hasn't changed a bit. As Milanese back to his feet, we'll see if he's able to continue. Sawatsky said our guys will come out of this better. It's just a bummer that we're not going to be able to hunt for that trophy this year. They're still very much in the hunt for at least a point tonight. Milanese looks like his night is done, as he is going straight to the bench. And we'll see who the Owls bring on in his place. Looks like Dion Akoff is putting the shin guards in. Now first it's Giovanni Willis. He's going to replace Steven Dos Santos. So Giovanni Willis, who hasn't played forward very much the last couple of years for Omaha, he might go straight into that center forward position. Dion Akoff also comes in for the Owls to replace Milanese. You would think Akoff would slot in at that right back position. Skierce would be at center back alongside Suwahi for the final 10 minutes. Lagos Kunga does really well to maintain possession. Willis tried to do the same, was unable to. It's forward by Gomiro, trying to connect with Bentley, but well read by JP Skierce, who stepped up and cut it out. Intercepted though, and back come the kickers. That was left short for Fitch, and Brewer intercepted, and Brewer goes on the overlapping run, and Brewer sprints down this left line, and Brewer slides in Meza. It's Noe Meza. Meza onto his right, pulls it to the top of the area. Heel! He finally finds the net this year. His first of the season. He's been snake bitten in 2023. He's done everything else for the team, and he may have just salted away their 8th consecutive victory. 2-0 to the Owls in the 82nd minute. You see the smile, you see the relief. He's tied for the team lead in assists, but every player wants to score. He's hit posts, he's hit crossbars, he's had miraculous saves against him, he's had defenders make incredible goal line clearances. Every possible way you can be denied a goal, he's been denied this season, but he would not be denied that time. Beautiful finish, and the Owls have daylight at last. Luis Heel, such a great veteran presence on this Omaha team, and he adds so much to their midfield when he plays. He was so effective after coming on in the second half on Wednesday, helped the Owls add cushion in that game, which of course they then needed when they conceded 2 late goals and had to hang on for that 4-3 win. So again, this one's still not over quite yet, even though it's a much more comfortable advantage for Omaha. They have had that habit of making things less comfortable late on. There's still 6.5 minutes plus time to be added on after that. Richmond need to find something soon. Have it at the edge of the box. Scooped into the middle, awkward ball, and boy, McGrain able to pick that out with his right hand. A sticky right glove, and it needed to be. For just a moment, you thought that was going to creep over his right hand and nestle into the roof of the net. McGrain able to stick up the paw and have the ball stick to it. a stoppage in play here, and we have a bunch of substitutions for Richmond, we're told. So we'll show you on the screen, and apparently the game's being stopped for all the smoke that was released from that Parliament end to our left. So we weren't anticipating a stoppage in the second half, but we're getting one anyway. Beckett Howell has come in for Chandler O'Dwyer. We'll give you these changes as much as we can. So Howell in for O'Dwyer. Nicholas Simmons, at all 16 years of age, has come on for Matthew Bentley. Nicholas Simmons did score his first career goal in his last appearance. It helped him salvage a 3-3 draw against Fuego 10 days ago. Chris Cole comes on for Nathan Awney. Chris Cole, who last appeared on July 30th, gets some late minutes here tonight. As we're about ready to resume in the midst of the smoke. You see Jake Meekham has replaced Joao Gomiro. Meekham had made one appearance since July 30th as Meza unleashes with his left, and it's out for a corner. Also, Ryan Sierakowski has come on for Justin Suko. So a quadruple change, or make that a quintuple change for Darren Sawatsky in the, I think technically the 83rd minute. Brewer taking this throw. Heel. Crossing for Meza, and couldn't get it through a wall of white shirts. It's still loose. It's Kunga trying to wriggle free. It's Heel scooping it back into the mix. Flick to the edge of the area. Willis after it. Johnny Willis hassling the ball handler. Forward by Doyle. Now Kunga back onto it for Omaha. We'd love to possess it as much as possible and milk the clock as much as possible now. That was turned over. Vinyals not able to connect with the forward. And Meza again able to track back and earn back possession for his team. And has the ball at his feet once again. And that's a really good ball around the corner. Willis trying to release Meza, but tracked down by Fitch, who has been tireless tonight. Not enough cutting edge from open play. It's just been the issue for Richmond this season, especially in the second half of this year. They'll have a free kick now. And on a night where they haven't had many corners and attacking set pieces, haven't been able to create quite enough danger, quite enough opportunity from the run of play. Although they have fought well as they usually do. Union Omaha getting ready to sub Ed Gordon on. He'll be replacing Luis Heel momentarily. Vinyals takes this. Has to put it into the mix, and does. Meza rises. Again, it's defended well by the Owls, and Heel, what might be his last touch tonight, down for Doyle, who does intelligently well as he usually does. Dolabella. Brewer in lots of space. And he'll take his time. We are approaching stoppage time. Suwahi, who has played every minute of every game for Omaha this year. Good ball down the right, trying to connect with Akoff. Put out for a throw. That still works from Omaha's standpoint. they'll make that change now. As Ed Gordon, who just returned from injury a few weeks ago, an Omaha native, played at the University of Nebraska, Omaha here in town. Picked up an assist against Chattanooga in his return from injury a few weeks ago. Replacing goal scorer Luis Heel, who had a tremendous game tonight, even before his goal, but the goal capped off a fine performance. And so his first marker of the year has the Owls in a good position as we head for stoppage time. And we'll see how much of that there will be. It's kept in by Willis. 6 additional minutes to be played. Stoppage time presented by Muchachos. Gordon, just on, immediately commits the foul. So here you go, stoppage time. The Owls conceding goals in 4 of the last 5 games in second half stoppage time. They are so desperate to avoid that, put a stop to that run, and continue their winning run. Into the box it goes, cleared by Brewer, throw in Richmond. The Owls also conceded in second half stoppage time against Knoxville on June 21st and against Chattanooga on May 20th. So 6 second half stoppage time goals conceded on the year. Not great. They've managed it okay. Ball heaved into the box, and it bounces in, and it's happened again. And Richmond do have a goal back, and still 5 minutes of stoppage time at least remaining. And it does come from a throw, and the Kickers are still in this. 2-1. Frustrating for Omaha and hope for Richmond. The throw was taken by Chris Cole, and it's an own goal off Shaft Brewer, who was trying to head it clear and headed it backwards instead into the corner of his own net. After those long throw-ins from Nathan Awney, he was subbed off, remember, so he wasn't available to take that throw. And so it's another uncomfortable ending for Omaha. They've done enough to see it through lately. Could Richmond snatch an unlikely point and end Omaha's winning streak? They need one more goal to do so. Time to ping one into the box here. And it bounces all the way through. Richmond claiming a touch and a corner. They get one. And the Owls insistent that they should not. Velimir Stefanovic, though, spotted a touch. And again, Richmond very dangerous from corners. And if the Owls were to concede here, they would be incensed for multiple reasons. Primarily at themselves, but also at the referee in this case, who they feel awarded that wrongly. But they have to defend it nonetheless. Swung in, out comes McGrain. He punches clear, and the whistle blew anyway for a foul against Richmond. And the Owls and their fans can exhale for now. Ian McGrain will take as much time as he's allowed before taking this free kick. McGrain hanging it up for Meza. Booted up into the air by Moran. Forward by Dolabella, who committed a foul in the process. Nil Vignal's asking for a card, and there will be one. And Richmond wanting to put that ball back into play. They had to retrieve it first. So Dolabella into the book in the 94th minute. He's the only player on the pitch for Omaha on a card currently. Zaka Moran has been on one since the first half for Richmond. Not many cards in this game. Forward it goes. Good ball forward, but too far in the end. Looked dangerous initially, but it kept carrying, and on this short pitch, it gets to the keeper quicker than it otherwise would. 2 minutes approximately remaining. Ian McGrain will again attempt to consume as much of it as he can. Willis battling for position, able to flick that forward. Kunga into the path of Noe Meza. Meza thought about the first time shot. Now the step over, the pullback for Gordon. He pulls it back in turn to Brewer. Brewer wanted to take it to the corner. His route there appeared to be cut off. He might find a path there anyway. Gordon tussling for it. Whose throw? It's Omaha's, and that's valuable. That allows them to consume more seconds. Brewer tosses it into Meza. Meza hugs toward the corner and wins another throw. And we enter the final minute of the 6 added on. The Owls that close to an 8th consecutive win and to remaining a point off of first place. That stays in play for Brewer, who takes it all the way into the corner now. Willis takes over with his big frame. And that came off a Richmond player. And more time milked off the clock by the Owls. And it is a corner, in fact, a Modelo corner kick. And they take it short for Meza. That was offside, which is not great in that situation, and it allows Richmond to finally break out. One more attack perhaps for them. Last chance for the Kickers to snatch a late point and ruin Omaha's winning streak, but that's not going to get it done. The crossfield ball, too much on it, unable to be tracked down by Sierakowski. And there's the final whistle, and the streak continues. It's another broken record for Union Omaha as the Owls extend the best run in League One history with an 8th consecutive win, and they continue to knock on the door of first place. They again conceded late. They again do enough to hang on. They've beaten Richmond tonight by 2-1. In just a moment, we will see our man of the match, presented by Platinum Chiropractic and Wellness. Goals tonight from Pedro Dolabella and Luis Heel. Enough for the Owls. Shaft Brewer charged with the own goal in the 92nd. But Luis Heel is our man of the match tonight, presented by Platinum Chiropractic. That finished there in the 82nd minute, capping off a fine performance. And it turns out to be the winning goal. Heel bringing it under command with his right foot and curling it into that right-hand side netting. So close, denied so many times this year. See how excited his teammates were for him. A guy who adds so much to this Owls team, and finally able to add a goal to his name this season as well. And a goal that they ended up needing tonight, as their lead was again reduced to 1, but again they win by that single goal margin, as they have 5 times amidst this 8-match winning run. We'll take a break and come back to wrap things up from Omaha as the Owls go over to celebrate in front of the Parliament. The Owls beating Richmond tonight 2-1. Our final stats and highlights are next.
My name is Connor Doyle, and I'm a midfielder with Union Omaha. I was excited. It was obviously not a big reason why I came here, but Jay mentioned it as being a possibility of once joining the team, it was going to be a partnership with the club, and getting towards the end of my career, it was obviously a thing that I wanted to look towards finishing my degree, and so with the chance of getting a scholarship and kind of getting those things paid for, it was definitely pretty exciting and special. Like I said, I'm kind of nearing the end of my career in the next few years, and so it's kind of looking forward to that next step in life, and degrees go a big way in helping people make those next steps, so it's kind of the reason why I decided to finally get back into it. It's a big deal, because you know, there's guys like Yoskar who have the chance to kind of go pro at 18, but also you could go to a college and get a 4-year degree and maybe have a scholarship that way, but this gets things paid for, and he can be in a professional environment from a young age and learn. And so I think that's a big deal in terms of getting guys up through kind of the academy and stuff, and you can still promise them a degree and an education along with being in a professional environment. My name is Connor Doyle, and I am a Bellevue University student.
Yet another win for the men in black and lightning. Union Omaha defeating Richmond 2-1 tonight. to keep the Kickers winless in now 11 and to send Omaha to an 8th consecutive win, despite a good battle by Richmond tonight. They made it very difficult for Omaha and were able to make it close right up until the end, but just still not quite enough attacking thrust in the final third for Richmond tonight, as we'll see our final highlights from tonight's game, as the Owls were not only made to work, they were stymied for most of the first half. Richmond had a really good game plan. They stuck to it quite well, but in the 56th minute, Pedro Dolabella rising highest on that flying drive delivery from Connor Doyle that he's so good at, and able to bounce it past Akira Fitzgerald and into the roof of the net. And the Owls had that breakthrough. And they would put it back into the mix later as J.P. Skierce would head it down. Dos Santos had his header blocked, as the Owls creating that second ball situation where Skierce gets on the end of a Doyle delivery. That's something they've done so many times the last couple of years. Richmond slid in Matthew Bentley here. He was offside. That would not have counted, but it was one of their better attacks in the second half. They were able to construct quite well, but again, that final ball, that final run, the timing of those two things, not quite there. This was a dangerous corner that they had when it was still 1-0. It was sent to the back post, put into the mix, but nobody in white. Nathan Awney was the closest to being on the end of it. It just wouldn't fall kindly for Richmond in the end. The few times tonight where they were able to win those first balls from set pieces, the second ball didn't fall to anybody in white. And then the Owls would open up a 2-goal lead later. Meza assisting Luis Heel for his first goal of the year. And Meza, who has been the goal scorer so many times the last 2 years, the provider this time, and Heel, who only had assists previously this season, now has a goal as well. But again, the Owls would make things more interesting for themselves than they would have liked. In the second minute of stoppage time, that throw-in headed backwards into his own net by Shaft Brewer. The own goal in the 92nd minute tightened things up late, but Richmond not able to create that equalizer. And our final match stats presented by the Simple Man see 12 shots for Omaha to 7 for Richmond. 3 on target for the Owls, who were outpossessed again, 55 to 45%. That's been the story throughout this winning run, but Omaha continued to do the most with less of the ball. 2 yellow cards, only 2 yellow cards for each side in this match. Pretty cleanly played game, and the referee able to stay out of things quite well, as both sides were able to keep the cards in the referee's pocket for the most part. So another win for the Owls. They march on. Just 6 matches left in the regular season for them as they chase that top spot and at least a top 2 finish in a playoff bye. Hope you've enjoyed this one. For our entire great crew, I'm Donnie Barnes saying good night from Werner Park in Papillion, Nebraska, where it ended tonight. Union Omaha 2, Richmond Kickers 1.
United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.